Hey guys, how we doing? Got a little bit of time to pick away at that rat rod quad and get a little bit more stuff done. So I kind of give you a little heads up and show you what I've done and where I'm going and yeah. All right. I went around and I took everything apart and just kind of welded up all the stuff that I had kind of tacked together because I figure I'm not going to change it much. As you can see, plate's been welded in there. All the stuff's been gusseted up. I laid some threaded rod. There was a gap between these two pieces. I just laid a piece of threaded rod and built it up and built it up. Hooked up all the hydraulics, all the cylinders. I made my intake. I took my carburetor to the auto parts store and went to where the hoses were and found one that fit that intake nozzle just right, and one that had a bunch of elbows to it. And as you can kind of see, I just kind of sliced and diced that and took pipe and got it to go the direction that I want and cleared a body. Went out back and got a scrap air cleaner off a tractor, and that's that side. And on my exhaust side, just kind of flipped that pipe out that I had and came up and around. I haven't detailed it and ground it down and painted it yet, but that's my exhaust. So I'm good for about, I don't know, about 8-10 inches above the rear bucket to go through water. And mounted some brackets for that and kind of stiffened everything up. I took new handlebars a friend of mine had, and I put them on there and kind of straightened out the riser there was kind of stuck to one side pretty good, so we left the old handlebars on there, and I straightened it out with the old handlebars and a couple of pieces of pipe and some persuasion and a bottle jack between here and here, and kind of pushed it straight again, got that squared away. Made up a new throttle cable for it, which you see right here. What I do is I go to Walmart, especially if you need any long cables, and they sell packages. Let me see if I can find one for you. I know they're laying around somewhere. It's like a bomb went off in here. Oh, here we go. They sell these guys, and they have like, I don't know, there's like 5 cables in here, maybe 6 cables. It's supposed to be like every cable that a bike needs. I generally just take the longest one out of them. The good part about it is this whole kit right here is like $4.97. They're really cheap. So I use those for doing all my modifications, and I can cut the tits off the end of them and, you know, make what you want out of them, and cutting down the length like you see there, and just solder a blob on the end of them and grind them to make the other end. So that's what I did. We have a throttle hooked up, and for the choke and on and off switch and all that kind of stuff, let's drop some oil. I just took the part of the old handlebars and welded them to the frame right here, and then took that whole control, just mounted it right here. That way I don't have to cut down my choke cable, and which was a little bit of a pain in the ass to mod. And on the other side, I'm just going to mount the ignition switch, and along with that, it's got the neutral light and the reverse light. That's going to go on this side. Really? Again? Keep dropping this oil. Here we go. Let's move you right out of the way. So I went through all that's done, and I started playing with the hydraulics. I said everything's back up. Everything's all welded tight. The frame's welded tight. The linkages are all welded tight. I still have gussets and whatnot to put in there, but I want to make sure everything's where it's going to go. And I started with the hydraulics, and of course, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I should have played with the pump a little bit ahead of time, but no, I went and put power to it. It was just locked up dead. The pump wouldn't move at all. So lo and behold, I have a parts car out back, an old 66 Belvedere convertible. It's just a parts car, but it did have a hydraulic pump in it, so we stole the hydraulic pump out of that. Of course, before that, I already mounted everything for the other pump with these 2 plates. So we got to cut those back out and redo them. Hooked all that up, hooked the hydraulic lines up, and ran power to it. And this cylinder was pissing oil out of the top because that O-ring was no good. Had a chomp taken out of it. Right there. Right there, I got it pinched. And these things aren't really meant to be taken apart. If you look at them, they got a bullseye on the end of them. There's a snap ring in there, two metal washers, and then the O-ring underneath it. So I had to kind of take the snap ring and the metal washers off. Of course, they're not going to go clear that bullseye on top. So I had to walk the O-ring over those things, over the end of it. And just kind of go shopping in the O-ring kit and got it all back together, got another one put on there. And it did stop leaking. So I could probably take my jumper pack and go pop it on the leads over there and kind of power it up and down to kind of show the idea of how that's going to work. It's somewhere on here, there's a little ground wire. There it is. I love these jumper packs, I use them for everything. Put some juice on. And basically, all you gotta do is hook a momentary switch up to these guys. One's up, one's down, yellow and the brown. So, let's see what we got. Let's go. Still got air in the system, you hear the air, but you get an idea. And we grab the other one. It's got a lot of balls to it too. I mean, you can't stop it from going where it wants to go. And if you run it all the way down the other direction, it'll latch itself right in. And the bucket's really tight too, because those cylinders are holding pressure. At least my O-ring's not leaking anymore, as you can tell by the mess underneath it. Of course, you pop the lines off, they go flying. The hydraulic cylinders that were on the other car were shorter, so I couldn't use those over. I wouldn't have had enough stroke. So that's why I ended up fixing the ones that I have. Actually, it looks like that one might be leaking a little too. Might have to go do the same with that one. But she works. It's getting there. I said all the controls are hooked up. My brakes, rear brakes are hooked up. My throttle cable's hooked up. Now the next part is just going to be start stretching that wiring harness, try to tap into the original harness. And I think I could probably get about 80 to 90% of it in place without cutting into the harness and having to stretch them. That's kind of why I relocated from the handlebars down to this location. Should do us pretty good. If I have the time to work on it, hopefully I'll have this thing by Sunday or so. At least back up and running. I am into it for 156 bucks is what our total is so far. The one thing that I was kind of hoping to get from the guy I bought it from was the front shaft that's missing. This shaft right here. And it's kind of a friend of a friend kind of deal, so he said he went and looked for it, whether he did or not, and wasn't able to find it. So I'm going to have to go buy that on probably eBay. So I may end up soaking about another 70 bucks into that piece. And everything else is, once I get it up and running, I'll probably just kind of make some skins for it here and there. I need to make a skid plate for across the whole bottom of it to protect it, because that dry shaft is vulnerable. And it's so long, it's going to want to bottom out. But it's looking different. I have a tractor coming to, big tractor, coming to go do work on. I have a feeling it's pulling in the driveway right now. I can hear it. There we go. He had an electrical fire on it. So he's got no lights, no charging system. A little tractor. If any holes to be dug, I'll dig it with this while it's here. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care.